So we're safely through. Never in doubt. Never in doubt. Always knew it after that Scotland game. No, it's great. Actually, England obviously did improve on the last game, so it's great to see that we did. Really good result, actually, in the end, but still room for improvement. There's still that area where you feel like we're holding back, but I think that's going to be England's game plan throughout this tournament. It was as I expected. I wasn't expecting a huge change in performance from the Scotland game, but it certainly was an improvement. So I'm going to get into that. So giving my player ratings, and then we're looking at who we're getting in the round of 16. So we all know now, it was last night, obviously it was decided it's going to be Germany. Let's be honest, it's the game we all wanted out of that group. It's the game we all wanted. And yeah, I cannot wait. Bring it on. Wembley, England, Germany. Oh, I just cannot wait. Cannot wait. Just a heads up to everyone, it's 5 o'clock next Tuesday, so make sure you get yourselves off work early. If you're one of those people that do a 9 to 5, make sure you're home for that one. Have a quiet word with the boss. So yeah, let's get into this one. Loads to discuss. Like I said, player ratings, overall team performance, and then a look ahead to the Germany game. So it ended up being, another professional, relaxed, should we say, calm, control performance from England. But again, it's nothing to set the world alight. Again, we seem to be holding back. I did expect a reaction from the England boys, and we did get it. There's no way I think we could have played as bad as what we did against Scotland. But again, England, for the third game in a row, started the game really brightly. It's the third game in a row we've hit the post or the bar within the first 10 or 15 minutes, so that's becoming a habit, and not a nice habit because they're not going in. If we put these away every single time, the tournament's an absolute breeze. But still, we scored in the 12th minute. Raheem Sterling again. Again, it's a bit concerning that we're not scoring as many goals probably we should be doing. We can't afford to really be sitting back on 1-0 wins. It's okay against teams maybe like Croatia, Scotland and the Czech Republic. No disrespect to them, but they haven't got any strikers up front that you would really fear. But certainly going into the Germany game, that's something we're going to have to pick up on. We can't sit back on 1-0 wins. But it was a good professional performance. I think what you'll take from these games is that England, across all 3 games that we've had so far, yes, we've looked poor from an attacking sense, but at the same time, we've also made the opposition look poor. Even though, looking back at the Scotland game as well, and the Czech Republic game, they've all tend to have shots on against England, but nothing really of any significance. And you've seen, actually, we seem to stop a lot of other teams' attacking flow, if you like. So, yes, we haven't been the greatest going forward ourselves, but we also do seem to nullify other teams. So there is positives from this. Obviously, the other positives is that, England have got a clean sheet over 3 games. Again, like I said, not against the greatest opposition from an attacking sense, but it's still 3 clean sheets. And yeah, we are through to the next round as group leaders. And like I said, I wanted us to be group leaders. It didn't matter who we got in the next round. I think, obviously, looking at the group now, and we'll come on to that looking at the way it's broken down now, England actually probably have the favourable side of the draw. And this is where I want to raise, actually. If you look back at my videos before Euro 2020, I said to you, this next game for England is the most important in my lifetime. Because and I've said it in the last video, I honestly believe if we win this next game, we are well within a shout of winning this tournament. It's that important. Because of the run, but then also because we'll have knocked out a big team. I said this weeks and weeks and weeks ago, this game is going to be huge. And I think how the draws worked now, even more so. So, it's a great opportunity for England now to finally put that taboo to bed. In the sense, we have beaten big teams in tournaments, but I think the biggest one I remember was Argentina, obviously going back to the World Cup quite a few years back now when I was a kid. That Beckham penalty, that was. But it's been a while, hasn't it? We're well overdue a win against top opposition. So I'm quietly optimistic. Again, England's performances aren't going to change. We are going to be this defensive-minded team that's going to try and nick goals, but at the same time, we do look threatening when we go forward. We've created problems against all teams, whether it's been in only for a few minutes or we have created problems. So there are benefits. And England are in a relatively strong place, but it's still an unknown place. It's such a fantastic squad again. I still don't think Southgate knows his best 11. I think with the fullbacks again, I think we look stronger with Walker coming back in for James. Shaw had a good game. I think he had quite a good game. And obviously the good news from the last game was that Henderson came back in and played 45 minutes. And he looked all right. He managed well. Big disappointment and obviously madness of Chilwell and Mount having to sit out the game and potentially the round of 16 because of training. Obviously, anyone thinks it's absolutely ridiculous that they're having to isolate not a single Scotland player which was ridiculous, still is. Makes no sense whatsoever. Obviously, Mount's the bigger loss for that. I think Mount is a starter in every game if he's fit. Chilwell obviously hasn't played yet. But it'd be interesting to see if Mount is in contention for the Germany game, so we'll wait to see how that goes. But no, looking at the game then, so I'm just going to put up a tweet actually I put just before the start of the game. And it was, I saw the team sheet and I saw Saka was starting, and I knew he was going to have a good game. Only because of the way he was prior to the tournament. He's always looked bright in an England shirt and he's only had a few games. But I just thought he's going to be one who's going to attack them, and I'll just pop it up now. I'm well proud of that. I called it, and, I hate to say I told you so, but it did need freshening up, didn't it? Let's be honest. It did need... Foden actually hadn't played badly, he'd done all right, but it did just need a fresh pair of legs, whether that would have been Sterling or Foden dropping out. But Saka's come in and done a fantastic job, and obviously Grealish coming on, he's finally got the start that all of us wanted and he wanted and the fans, and he played well. He was a difference, he really was, and that's why I said it's going to be interesting if Mount automatically comes straight back in. And you can already start to see the dilemma. Kane, obviously, is still misfiring, let's be honest. Now, I know people have been going on about his service, but he did get service. He got service in this game. He had a great chance. He didn't put it away. And ultimately, that's what he's on the pitch for. He's got to put those chances away. He should be scoring that. And I'm surprised, actually, that Dominic Calvert-Lewin hasn't had any minutes in this tournament. I mean, he should have come on, shouldn't he, against the Czech Republic for me. Kane clearly isn't. He's not right. I don't, forget all this service. He's not right. Why not give Calvert-Lewin a run out at the end of that game just to see how he is, get his legs running, get him moving around, see how he fits in with the team. If we're going to go with the mentality that any player is undroppable, then we're not going to win the tournament. As simple as that. You've got to play players who are on form. If he's not playing well, he comes out of the team. However, obviously, I still expect him to start against Germany. It's Harry Kane, that is. So, and I hope he does come good. But again, I still think Kane was lacking, and he didn't show anything really to really change my mind on that. Looking at the team then, so player rating, so I got Pickford. I think again quiet game, but he did make one good save actually. I think he looked a bit shaky on his feet towards the end of the game, but Pickford a 7. I do think he's been England's player of the tournament at the minute, but that'll be for another video. Kyle Walker, I've gone with a 7. I think a lot more stable, a lot more in control. I think sometimes he could have attacked more. There was a couple of times when he could have slipped Saka in, but didn't. So that is probably one area where I'd like to see him, push, have a bit more confidence, take more risks. But we still look more attacking with Walker and I think a little bit more composed at the back. So 7 for me. John Stones, 7. I think he had a good game, really good game. Great to see Maguire back and play obviously the full minutes. Pretty harsh though, let's be honest, on Mings, who's had a fantastic tournament. He's had 2 games, and I think like Pickford, he's been really solid and probably, arguably, had a better tournament than Stones so far. So it was a bit harsh him coming out. But Stones and Maguire at the beginning of the tournament, if everyone was fit, would have been the 2 starting centre-backs. So, Maguire's come back in, gave a good performance, and I'll put him down as a 7, very solid. Shaw, I think, had a better game. I think it's been one of his better games in English shirt in a while. Still a little bit lacking in energy, I believe. Same again on, like I said, with the fullback on the other side. It's just there's that lack of intent to get forward. But he did put Sterling in at the beginning for the chance. Obviously, that hit the post, and he did look a little bit more threatening, I think, than Walker. So I've gone for 7.5 for Shaw. He had a good game both at the back and going forward. So yeah, I think a good solid game from Shaw. Phillips, another game really where he was involved, but he could have. I feel like he's, I don't know, not as involved. Obviously, he's not repeated his heroics from the Croatia game by any means, but he certainly had a good, solid game. Interesting how Southgate, did change it round, but decided to take Rice off instead of Phillips, so it probably says a lot. I think Phillips is having a better tournament, so for me, and he had a good game, so for me, Phillips, I would say 7. Rice, I think, yeah, he did only have 45 minutes, but I just feel like, I don't know, I may be missing something, but I just feel Rice is struggling to get into games or influence games in any way, whether that's picking up men in front of the back 4 or even even keeping the ball moving. I just feel like Rice is struggling a little bit, and I think Henderson coming back in is probably going to be a good time for England. So I would say Rice was a 6. I know he only had 45 minutes, but I just feel Rice has got more to offer than what he's showing at the moment. Henderson, 7. I think he came in and had a really good 45 minutes. Let's be honest, he's not played football. He won't not be up to peak fitness, but he came on and looked and looked ready to go, looked raring to go, seemed to cope well. So yeah, for me, Henderson, 7. And then obviously on to the man of the match, I think by a long way, and that's Saka. I think Saka was absolutely fantastic. Direct, absolute pain all night, really strong going forward. I think he tracked back as well, very creative. He was just that one player who ran at a player. And that's all. And I promise you, Southgate, that's all a lot of fans are crying out for. Someone just to try and take someone on. Try one to take someone on, do something of an attacking threat. And I think Saka was grabbing the game for such a young lad. Fantastic play. So, I've gone for 8.5 for me. Man of the match, by far man of the match. I think he was the main threat for England all night. And Czech Republic didn't know how to cope with him, really. So, yeah, well done, Saka. Keep it up. It's going to be interesting, actually. What Southgate does with Saka and Grealish going into the next game. Going on to Grealish then, obviously he got the assist, played brilliantly, picking up those free kicks as we all know he would, picking up the ball when other players don't, threatening. I think he was in the game a lot and played and linked up well. So I would go for an 8. England's second best player on the night for me. Really good player. So again, like I said, it's an interesting dilemma now for Southgate with those two. Maybe the COVID thing means that one of those decisions is taken for him, but who knows, and again, this goes back to England's strength in depth. We're not at the stage, we're not the England team of previous tournaments, going back to when I was growing up in the early noughties, where if one player dropped out, the player coming back in, to replace that player or cover them was just woeful, and it's not like that anymore. The strength in depth that Southgate's got is unbelievable. If one player drops out, it's not the be-all and end-all, no matter who it is. And this is what I mean. I don't think any player is indispensable, considering particularly how well Mings has started the tournament and how well the central midfield's done without Henderson and Maguire through the spine. So it just shows you I don't think any player's undroppable, and I think there's plenty of competition in all places. Raheem Sterling got his goal, played well. I think it was one of his better games, should we say? Yeah, one of his better games. 7.5 I've gone for. Took his goal well. He's there, isn't he? He's always there. He's always making a nuisance. Hit the post. Again, I think he should still finish it. But he's always a pain, isn't he? But it's just one of those things with him. I always gone about. I just feel like he could be stronger and more physical, but a good game, Sterling, 7.5. And Harry Kane, for me, I've got him down along with Rice in the 6s, so 6.5 for me. And it's just, and the reason why he did obviously play better, he was linking up more, but people have been saying that he hasn't had the service. Now, he had the chance. I know it's one chance, but this is he should be taking that. That should be a goal. There's no doubt, and that's what he's on the pitch for. But clearly, there's something not right. He's just not on form. He's not on fire. And if he can't take those chances, then we have to look at alternatives. Otherwise, there's no point in him being there because he doesn't link up play too well. He's not getting involved in the game much. So we're relying on the fact that he's on the pitch because when he gets his chance, he's going to take it. And he didn't. He did not take it. And it has to be noted. You've got to be open to criticism. It's a strike at the end of the day, and he should be putting that away. But it was an improvement from Harry Kane. It was an improvement, but I've gone for 6.5. So yeah, that's it from the player's point of view. I'm not going to discuss the other subs. I know I've discussed Henderson, but the other subs only had 10 to 15 minutes, so I don't think they're worthy of a rating. But I think the overall England performance was a 7.5. Game of two halves. First half, a lot better. Second half, it was just again, a bit like the Scotland game, to be honest with you. Quite disappointing, but essentially we are getting the job done. And it's interesting now how we're going to line up against a stronger opposition. I don't think it's going to change much, if I'm honest with you. And maybe this is Southgate's master tactical plan all along, where we've almost used these as almost practice warm-ups for a game such as this. And we're just going to be one of those teams that are quietly going about our business and we start to make our way through this tournament. But yeah, like I said, 7.5 for England for the overall rating. I think it was good enough, wasn't it? We got the result we needed and we topped the group. Right then, round of 16. Now, let's be honest, there was a period, wasn't there, last night when England possibly were going to get hungry. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to turn my nose down at that. Then it went to Portugal, the way the results were going. And to be honest with you, I didn't want Portugal. Not because I fear them. I don't know. I just feel like it's not a game I'd particularly enjoy. I just feel like England-Germany is a different kettle of fish, isn't it? Let's be honest. England-Germany is a different kettle of fish. The only team I did fear is France. I will be honest. I didn't want France. I feel like they'd have knocked us out. I feel like France are, even though they're not playing the best football, they are the favourites for this tournament because the squad is unbelievable. So I really didn't want France, but the way it worked out is quite unlikely we were ever going to get France anyway. But England, Germany, particularly for England fans, I know German fans like it as well. It's a huge game, it really is. Obviously the history from the Euro '96 at Wembley, so there's a chance for a bit of payback there from England. Hopefully, and obviously with Southgate, the one who missed the penalty, so it could become a little bit of a fairy tale. But this is a big test now for England. I'm just going to put up now actually the way the draw's gone. So like I said at the beginning of this video, because we topped our group, it obviously means that we have now a tougher last 16 opponent than what we probably would have done if we'd have finished second. However, looking at it now, if we get past this round of 16, the run is looking quite good. The better teams are in the other half of the draw, and I'm not one to look out for. Like I said, I don't care if we was in the other half. I don't care, but you have got to look at it in sense of if we do get past Germany, you can't help but think you might fancy us against some of these other teams that we might be coming up against. Obviously, we've got the Netherlands in our side of the draw looking fantastic, really looking strong. And obviously, there's a possibility of us having Wales, believe it or not, in the, it might be a bit optimistic, but in the semi-final. Obviously, us and Wales have still got a long way to go then before that. But I like this side of the draw. And like I said, because of that, though, I do honestly think this is one of England's best chances to get to a final. Like I said, I think we're one of the only teams, one of the big teams not to get to a European final. I think we've certainly played in the most European tournaments without getting to a final out of most teams. So I think this is our best chance of reaching a final at European Championships, and we've got to take it. Let's be honest, if we lose against Germany, it's a disappointing tournament, isn't it? Because we haven't particularly played enjoyable football and we haven't particularly gone very far. And I always keep coming back to the fact that this is a home tournament. So it would be incredibly disappointing if we go out against Germany next Tuesday. And I think there'll be a lot of clamour and pressure for Southgate to go if we don't qualify past Germany. Having said that, obviously it's a tough one, isn't it? Because Germany on the day could, we saw how they played against Portugal. They could turn up on the day and absolutely, thrash anybody. So it's not an embarrassment to go out against this Germany team. Of course it's not. But I think in the context of where England are trying to get to, where we should be progressing to, the fact that it's a home tournament, I think overall the way we've played, I think if we don't win this game, it's going to be an incredibly disappointing tournament for England. I really do. So yeah, it's a fantastic game though. Like I said, it's a 5 o'clock kickoff. So make sure, you're getting back home for that one. What a game. What a game. And I cannot wait. It is the game we all wanted. I promise you now, any German fans watching this, we love it. We love a bit of England-Germany. It's fantastic. Over the years, we've had some brilliant games, even in recent history, actually. Obviously, there's been times when we've absolutely thrashed Germany. I think of a few nights there's been some great comebacks, but then there's times when Germany's obviously done one over us. And I think, let's be honest, I can't remember many England-Germany games that are boring. So, it's a fantastic draw, really exciting. And yeah, and we cannot wait. Come on, England. Come on, England. And like I said, I'll be like a little boy. If we beat Germany, the next video I will literally claiming the Euros is ours. I will literally say those words that start with "it's coming," and I will literally say those words. But it's a tough game. It is a tough game, but it's a game I think England fans are going to expect us to win. I do. I think the expectation is for us to win, and I hope to God we do it. I really do hope to God we do it. Looking ahead though at what team he might play, it's a tough one. I think he's definitely going to start Kane. He's definitely going to start Sterling. I think Maguire now comes back into that team with Stones. Pickford obviously starts, and then the fullbacks are up for grabs. I think Rice might be in jeopardy. I think Henderson may come in depending on how fit he is. Phillips is a starter. And then after that, it's Saka, Grealish. It depends who's fit, what going off with his COVID. I think there's a lot of choices there for Southgate now, and he's got to get it right. He really has. So, come on, England. Yeah, cannot wait. Buzzing for it. England, Germany. Wow, what a game. It's absolutely fantastic. We're going to have a tournament where it's England, Scotland, England, Germany. It's like Euro 96 all over again. So, hopefully that doesn't end in the same way. Hopefully this year we get to the final. But like I said, it'll be hugely disappointing if we go out, but I think if we win this next game, I think England fans will be bouncing off the rooftops and almost claiming it's won. Obviously, it won't be, but it'll be a huge step in English football if we get through this next round. So thank you very much for joining. Please like and subscribe if you're new here. Leave me a comment, and yeah, get in touch with me on my Twitter and come on England, let's have it. You know, I cannot wait. Next round, here we come. Hopefully. I'll be posting my reaction after the Germany game. And yeah, absolutely fantastic. So come on England, let's have you.